Hello everyone, I'm Dhyan Anand and welcome to World GNM GHK month. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak here, and I would like to thank my doctor CJ Verghese and Dr. Devanan for giving me this opportunity to talk about my situation and the ongoing treatment I'm going through. I know it's a very personal thing and it is quite difficult to talk about it in a big medium here, but I think I hope it creates some sort of a relief or education for people or going through this or people who are going through this. So I would like to talk about my experience with this particular thing and what I'm doing for it. So to give a preface of what I'm going through, it's called atopic dermatitis, or a different variant would be called psoriasis. Uh, so I have been going through this particular thing for the past, I would say, 12 to 13 years, ever since when I was in school, just before high school, till ongoing right now. Um, so atopic dermatitis, or different word, psoriasis, is not just a medical condition, but it's also an experience what really affected me as a growing kid, um, and the situations that have made me go through it. So I would say it's not just something that the body goes through, but what I really understood it is it has a very big toll on your mental health and your mental clarity and everything. So to give a preface is what I'm going through. Let's go back to the past. What I really map of when it started or something would be when I was in the sixth grade, which is around 15 years ago or something like that, where I started developing a high fever and a really high fever, and I got admitted to the hospital. Turns out it was some sort of mucus getting filled in the lungs, where a different variant of lung bronchitis or something. I got admitted there and went through nebulization and the normal steroids they give you, sorry, antibiotics or steroids that they give you, prescribed that, gave it, had it, and I got discharged. Ever since getting discharged from the hospital and in the continuing months, we found out that almost every single month or even every single 2 weeks, I would get really sick. There were many times where I've been sent home from school because I was sick. And the symptoms were really high fever, runny nose, the normal cold sickness, including wheezing, difficulty in breathing, and allergies. Ever since that is when I started getting allergic symptoms also, where I would have morning allergies, um, uh, started wheezing in the night, difficulty breathing in the night, and even there were times where I used to cough a lot, so much that it would start getting difficult breathing, and it was really a painful experience that was that, especially as a kid. So it did really have an impact on my mental health also, what I really understood. Um, so before that, I personally didn't have any much problems. I am in the skinny side of the body type, but to be honest, I really didn't have much problems. Um, Ever since that particular incident where the fever or something got really severe, that's why I got admitted in the hospital. Ever since that admission, this is what has been developed. So what we thought was it was could be a symptom of taking English medicine, or it could be after effects of that particular big fever that I had. But from that, it developed seasonal allergies, allergy to dust, perfumes, anything that has strong sense of smell. And I started developing morning allergies for at least 1 hour in the morning when I get up, sneezing or coughing or something like that. But mostly it was sneezing. And also including wheezing. Wheezing would mostly happen in the night when I was sleeping. And there were times where I used to cough so much, I would wake up from my sleep, go drink hot water, try to sleep. And there were times where I couldn't sleep even lying down. I had to uh, go next to the bed, sorry, go next to the headrest and sit like that and try to fall asleep. So there were many times where I was going through that also, which was a bit Now that I look back, yes, it was a bit confusing, or I would say also even traumatic, where it caused some sort of issue with, I won't say an issue, but a trouble in my mental health or something, where my entire identity was focused onto that thing. A guy, a kid with allergies, a kid going through this or something like that. So I started really getting insecure about my body or what I was going through. Cut to that, 2 years later from that incident, I started developing a small sort of a rash, like on my left elbow, this side. Started off small, and it didn't really have much of an impact, but I kept, it was really itchy. And it sort of grew and grew and grew and grew and really grew. To also give another point was that I lived in abroad. I lived in the Gulf area. So I lived in Bahrain to be precise, and the climate there is dry. The climate is dry and humid. It's a it's a desert. So that really did not help my condition. So this sort of increased so much when I was in the a year after when I saw the initial rashes. That timeline would be when I was in the ninth grade. I'm not so sure about the years, but I would like to say in the ninth grade time. So from then, I started only wearing full sleeve dresses to sort of cover it up. A, it was also to protect from the environment, but I think B, which is the more important point, was I developed a very deep-seated insecurity towards myself. I didn't want people to get to know about this issue that I had, or so a big amount of insecurity has come out. So because of that, the main symptoms were these rashes that I developed both on my elbows. Was about uh, 15 centimeter in length, and it almost covered the upper part of my elbow, or this area, and both my hands. So from that uh, was the main condition that I had. The second was the allergies, which I would have in the morning, and with dust or with perfume or something like that. So I had deep scented allergies also, and I had difficulty breathing. And my lung capacity or ability to hold in breath also has reduced a lot. While this condition kept on going, we did seek treatment. We did not seek English medicine or antibiotic medicine at all. We didn't want to risk. We understood that there would be a problem in that. So we went down to seek homeopathic treatment and Ayurvedic also. We didn't do the treatment. We just consulted with the doctors. From that understanding, we understood that okay, maybe he can go through it alone, maybe without any external medicine. Maybe he can try to go through it. Um, but it sort of didn't really have an impact. I personally feel it went more and more severe to a point where it would break out when I itched a lot. In the night, I used to itch so much. In the mornings, I would wake up to like blood clots, and there were times where I couldn't even move my hand. It was that bad. And on top of that, because of the dry climate, or sorry, the Middle East climate, it would get really dry, and I had to use coconut oil to subdue it or put water to subdue it. And even while putting water onto it, it would start burning. And there were times where when I used to put water to reduce the dryness of it, it used to burn a lot, and I used to shiver or because I couldn't take the burning sensation. It wouldn't much happen with the oil part, but with water it would. And then we had to order the special water, desalinated water, for me to especially bath in. So these were the conditions I was going through. When I came back to India, I live in Kerala, which is a humid, moist climatic condition. My rashes or my season allergies will really reduce a lot. There were points where it would reduce a lot where I was confident enough to wear half sleeves onwards. So then I understood, okay, climate in Kerala is really suited for me. Why I wanted to say this point, I'll get back to that. So these were the points that I understood. If I live in Kerala, and the condition of my skin would be much better, and I wouldn't have much seasonal allergies. But I had to go back. I live there, I study there. So this was the condition I was going through, where it was getting a really big severe. It happened around my eyes, it came to my neck, um, both my hands. Then it started on the back of my knees, where it increased so much. Then, after studying there, I came back from college in India, where I studied for 4 years. And in the initial 2 years, I did have the symptoms, but in the middle, last to let's say third year and fourth year, I did not have any symptoms. I would have allergies, yes, but no rashes at all. Where I was very confident to even wear outside a half sleeve dresses, um, because it was hot also there. So I became confident to wear half sleeves because there was no symptoms of any rashes or something. After that, in the winter season, it would start a little bit. So I understood, okay, in the winter seasons when the climates are cold or dry, it happens a lot. If it's in a dry climate, it increases. When there is pollen or when there is too much dust, it increases. And later, after really understanding what I was going through, I understand that is it also has a mental link also. Whenever I used to get tensed or whenever I used to get really anxious about certain things like deadlines or work or something, I would start developing a lot of itching sensation, a really bad itching sensation where I couldn't even control. So that's where I understood that my mental health or my mental well-being has a direct relation to the condition that I'm going through. Whenever there were times in my life where I was going through a really low time or a really difficult time, the skin condition will increase a lot and the severity of the skin condition would increase a lot. After that, I decided to take treatment of it, a final resting treatment for it. I started with homeopathic treatment, where I should take medicines. But I did have some sort of reduction in the skin condition, but I don't know, the treatment didn't really wasn't much where I was going through, and I didn't see much results. I think in the back of my mind, I thought this is not really working out, isn't working out. So the confusion and the dilemma I was going through didn't really help also with the treatment. And that's where my uncle, who's also a homeopathic doctor, recommended me to GHK, to be precise, Dr. CJ Verghese. He recommended me to him to go meet him, and I went there. And I talked about my issues, a really big part of it. And my takeaway from that is the condition that I'm going through, atopic dermatitis or psoriasis or something like that, seasonal allergy, it all has some sort of a mental link to everything. I didn't really believe it in the beginning. I thought, what mental health? It's out from your physical body, it's coming out of your physical body. So at first, I was really skeptical of it. But then the more I understood, I realized, you know what, I suffered for 13 years or something. I'll let go of my ego and I'll finally listen to what actually it is. And we sat and we tried to map it out. Where would I have started? Why did this condition happen here? Why did my allergy start here? Why do I have difficulty breathing? When we mapped it out, I understood there were so many links that was linked to my mental health were the reasons why my conditions were worsening or my conditions are this. For example, with difficulty in breathing, which I had where I used to wake up in the middle of the night and start coughing, is could be linked to a fear that I have. That could also be in a lot of types of fear, a fear of environment or fear of missing out or fear of regret. That's what I really understood from my doctor, C.J. Verghese, and my uncle, Dr. Devanand. They really made me sit and understand this is not just the surface level of this disease. There is something beyond this that is in your psyche that you really have to understand and try to work it out. So that is one example that I would like to give. So he made me really understood where it all started. How do you map it out and understand where did this happen, or why did it fail, or why did this eruption happen in your skin? Why do you have these season allergies? So that really helped me to understand what this disease is, or what atopic dermatitis or psoriasis is. It's not just the surface level. It is something really deep inside your psyche that you really have to work on that first. And from that, I really understood that we have to work on these things. While this current treatment was going on, there were even some days or some nights where I sort of felt low or something. And when I really looked it in a third perspective, I understood during that times my skin condition would worsen, or it would get more dry or more critical or something like that. So I understood, oh, okay, skin condition or seasonal allergy has a direct link to my mental health. So I need to fix that first. And with something like skin condition or seasonal allergy, it is linked to your fears, and it is linked to a deep centered insecurities that you have. It is not insecurities that could also be in your past, it could be your ongoing insecurities. In my case, it was the insecurity of the skin condition. What you have to understand is what has happening in the skin, the eruptions that's happening in the skin. It is not your body's healing it. The body found out some traumas that is inside, that's in your body, and it is trying to heal it. And one way of doing it, or the safest way of doing it, is to come out through the skin or through skin eruptions. That's why it gets pushed onto the two layers of the skin, the deep skin tissue and the peripheral skin tissue, where it starts from the deep and then it goes up. So it is a way that the body is trying to heal itself. But I was in a cycle. The body was trying to heal through the skin eruptions, but through my mental health, I used to get an insecurity. Okay, it's not healing, it's actually increasing. So it was still a cycle. So the toxins increased more. So the body has to work overtime. So it tries to heal, but it's not really healing. So it was this weird cycle that my body was going through because of my mental capabilities or mental thinking was. So once I got to understand what GHK was and where it lies in the spectrum of medical science, I understood that everything and anything of any of your medical conditions are, there might be deep-seated mental things that you have to fix, or you have to get a clarity on. After I got the clarity where it could have started, I developed these exercises. How do I come out of it? How do I do this? Where should I resolve these conflicts? It's also called a mental conflict. How do I resolve these conflicts? So you have to really map it out and understand where these conflicts happen. So in a way, GHK really made me understand it's not just the peripheral version that's coming out of your body. It is what's through your mental capacity or your mental load is. So because of that, and plus with the medicines I did receive from the doctor, I've seen a lot of great sense of reduction in my skin condition and all. Before the treatment, I was at really bad skin condition where it was not just huge levels of it in my skin, on my thighs, on my calf muscles, both sides include, and my elbows, and my back. Ever since the treatment started, that has reduced a lot. Uh, Now my back does not have any sort of sign of those rashes. What's in my elbows and what's beneath my on my leg has reduced a lot. The skin type also has reduced. It's not as dry as it used to be, where it used to be very ashy almost, but now it's not at all dry. It was just there is some sort of itching does happen, but I realize okay, itching happens when I'm tensed or when I'm anxious. So I need to make sure take steps where I don't have to feel anxious or I don't have to feel tense. Take it as it should be. When I map it out, I realized okay, then I'm actually not getting that itch. So when if I don't itch, it's actually reducing. So it's a map that I really found out and I have to follow. And I understood that really helps. And with the seasonal allergy, uh, I can say that this treatment has been for 2 months, I would say 2 to 3 months. And I would, I'm happy to say that my allergy has gone. I'm glad to say that I'm 100% cured from my allergies. Now that I wake up, I don't have morning allergy. I don't sneeze much. The only time I sneezed was the time when the pepper went into my nose. That was the last time I sneezed. Other than that, no allergy, no wheezing issues, no lung issues, no coughing in the middle of the night, waking up in the middle of the night and coughing, nothing. Um, all I have right now is the small skin condition that I have that I'm clearly on the ongoing treatment and it's reducing a lot. And I understood that your environment, your external environment, your external conditions don't really have an impact on your skin condition. I always in the back of my head was living in Bahrain, it was a dry climate that increased my skin condition, that made my skin really dry. I am like this, I am this. So it was a prerequisites I kept in my head. I live in Bangalore. Bangalore is also known as a bit of a polluted city. Yes, correct. And I understood that every time I went back to Bangalore after Kerala, I used to get sick or my skin condition would increase a lot. I understood. And the doctor really helped me that everyone goes to Bangalore but no one really gets sick. Why are you getting sick? He put that shock value onto me. I was like, and I was thinking, oh wait, he's right. Why am I getting sick? Why am I making myself get sick? And safe to say, or I'm happy to say that for the last 3 times I went back to Bangalore and lived there, nothing. No skin allergies. I'm sorry, no skin uh, dryness, no seasonal allergies, nothing. I had not much of an issue. So I really don't wear even mask also. Only when I know places where it gets really crowded, I do wear a mask. Unless and until I don't feel the need to wear a mask also. While in the other case, I had to wear a mask. Otherwise, I would be sneezing, coughing so much. So I understood, yeah, it has a really big mental link to this condition. And my diagnosis or what I would like to do later is really work on my mental health or my mental capacity so much to the fact that I become really strong. I don't have insecurities. I'm confident with my body. I believe that if I do that sort of exercises or have that assurance in my mental health, I can 100% say that my skin condition will go that fast. With the help of this treatment, with the help of the medicines, and with the counseling that doctor gave me, I can see a lot of benefits. From 13 years of suffering, within 2 to 3 months, I can see a lot of great results. Safe to say that from when it started, I would say I'm around 45 to 50% healed in the 2 months. It might not sound big, but for someone who's been going through this for so long, it's tremendous, tremendous amount of assurance and confidence that I got. I realized because of what I was going through, I became a really insecure kid, a really underconfident, a really introverted kid. I was scared for talking to people in public. I was scared of public speaking. I really had a hard time making friends because there was a deep-seated insecurities that I had that okay, people will find out. If they find out, how will they shame me and all that stuff. But because of once I got the mental clarity and the treatment I'm going through, nothing. I really understood why did I now looking back, I was thinking, why did I have these why did I make myself go through this? I'm the person who's doing this to myself, no, not anyone else. Now it's really easy. I can talk in public speaking. I can have speeches. I'm right now recording this in third take or something. And I have no difficulty talking to strangers, making connections now. I really understand you can't let these small things affect you. It is actually small. If you take your life, this is just 1% of your life that you're going through. There's so many other things that you have to go through and so many big situations that will happen. So this is actually very minuscule, to be honest. But in your head, you have made it as such a big thing where you feel this is the end. This is who I am. When you get rid of that identity that you are this person with this skin condition or this issues, I would safe to say that you're healing yourself and you can see those results. Thing is, you have to believe in yourself. Have to believe in yourself that you'll heal, and you have to believe in the treatment, and more impactfully you have to believe this will get rid of, or you have to believe in yourself. You are not the disease. You are a human being. You are not the psoriasis you have. You are not the skin allergies you have. You're not the skin conditions or seasonal allergies you have. You are this person. You are who you are. Don't let these things affect you. Once they affect you, like how it affected me, it never will heal, or it'll actually increase. So I would like to close here. Thank you for listening to my bhashan. And it's a small identity, or sorry, and it is the wrong way word for it. It's a small story that I had to tell what I was going through. And I hope this reaches someone that you know how is going through this, or if you are going through this, know that this is not the end. This is not who you are. You can get better with this. You just have to work on it. Just like how you work out or you do your work. You can't just go to the gym, pull some machines and expect to be ripped. No, you have to sit and do the work. When you sit and do the work, 100% you'll get the results. And that's it. And yeah, thank you to Dr. CJ Verghese, and thank you to Dr. Devanand for giving me the opportunity to spread this awareness on it. If this video has at least reached one person who is going through this, or someone has shared and they really found something value from this, that's all I need. So again, thank you for the opportunity, and I'll see you on the other side. Bye.